everyone, it's Nolene from Calico Mermaid, and I'm here with your second video for our Adirondack Park quilt. When I left you yesterday, we had the center almost done. I sewed it together. So while I was at it, I put in on the sides. We got some red sashing, which is color F. When I put sashing or borders on, I always measure in three places, on the edge, the center, and both edges I should say, and the center. And I add them together, divide by 3, and that's your average. And that's what you want to cut your sashing or your border, whichever you're putting on. Now on this one, I believe it was 40 and a half. And I got 40 and a half. They tell you to cut it 40 and a half, but I want you to measure and make sure that's the size that your center finished at. So I cut it 40 and a half, and when I put it on, what I do is I find the center of my sashing, the center of my quilt, and I pin it. And then I get the edge of my sashing and the edge of my quilt, and I pin there, and I at the top and at the bottom, and then I just pin and ease it in. And if you use that method, you should not ever have a wavy border. I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of some quilts, and they just had a little bit of a wave. That's because their border or their sashing was too big for the piece they were sewing into. And if you just use a strip and just start sewing it, you don't realize how much you are either pulling the quilt top or you're sashing, and that's another reason why you get a little bit of a wavy board. So if you use the method when you're putting on your sashing or borders of measuring 3 times, dividing by 3, and getting your average, and cutting your sashing or boarding that size, and like I said, pin it in the center and the sides. If you do that, you should never have another wavy border. Fingers crossed, okay? So I put that on, and then I sewed my borders. Now this border and this border on the sides are the same, and the top and the bottom are the same. We just sew that all together. The next step you need to do is you need to sew your side borders onto your center panel. And then once you have that sewn on, you're going to again measure. They tell you 48 and a half is the measurement that you should be cutting your sashing. Okay? Make sure it is 48 and a half before you cut. That way you won't have to unsew, or you won't make a mistake. So once we have our side borders on, we put our 2 more pieces of sashing. So go up here. I haven't cut any of mine yet, so I'll go up there like that. It doesn't want to stay. I haven't cut mine yet because I haven't sewn them together and I haven't got my average, so I don't want to cut anything yet. So this is it should be 48 and a half. Once you have that sashing on, you'll put your top and your bottom border. Okay, so then that's actually your complete center done, your complete quilt. Now it's border time. So you're going to do the same thing. I believe the top and the bottom border we're going to put on first, and they're 48 and a half also. Again, measure, make sure it is the right size. And then the sides are 60 and a half. And that should be it. That's your quilt completed. That was fast. Thank you again for joining us for our second virtual summer sew-along. I hope you enjoyed it. And hopefully we'll have another one soon. Happy sewing and staying out of the heat. And don't forget to wear those masks. Bye-bye.